Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the must-own handcuffs for fantasy football in 2020. Now, before I get into all of these handcuffs, I'd like to ask you guys to please go down below and click that subscribe button. It's free, and I post content every single day to help you guys win your 2020 fantasy football championship. While you're down there as well, you might want to purchase my draft guide. It has tons of information in it, and it's priced very fairly to make sure that everyone can get it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Must-own handcuffs. So if you're new to fantasy football, I can explain to you what a handcuff is real quick. So a handcuff, just like in the bedroom, is very, very good. It's going to protect your fantasy football team from injury. A handcuff is pretty much, there's going to be a running back on the team, and he has a handcuff. There's one side of the handcuff, to make sure that you can hold each other together. So one running back is the normal part on the left side, and then on the right side, there's the backup, who's going to be the guy that's going to save your life. So a handcuff is the backup to another running back in the NFL. These are the guys that if your running back goes down, or if someone else's running back goes down, because you can really draft any of these guys, even if you don't own the main running back in the offense, you can still have it pay off by drafting their handcuff. The reason why these players are must-own is because I believe if the running back on that team, the workhorse, was to go down, you are going to be getting dividends from that running back. This guy is going to absolutely eat behind him because they have a lot of talent, and if the guy in front of them wasn't there, they would likely be the starter on the team. So without further ado, let's get into it. Must-own handcuffs for 2020 fantasy football. Number one, obviously, Alexander Mattison of the Minnesota Vikings, FFPC ADP 102. So he gets picked in around the 9th or 10th round of a lot of drafts. If you own Dalvin Cook, I need you guys to understand that you have to draft Alexander Mattison of the Minnesota Vikings, 5'11", 221 pounds. Mattison is 22 years old. He's just 1 year older than me, which is pretty crazy. 4.67 40-yard dash, so not very fast. 26th percentile, 37th percentile speed score, 74th percentile burst score, 47th percentile agility score, and a 67th percentile bench press. Now, Alexander Mattison was a very efficient runner when used last season. 4.4 true yards per carry, 4.6 yards per carry, 18th in the NFL. 4.9 yards per touch, 27th in the NFL. 8 breakaway runs, 18th in the NFL. 8% breakaway run rate for Alexander Mattison, second best in the NFL. So why is Alexander Mattison up on the tippity top? Now, I actually believe the second guy in this list is actually better than him, but in this situation, he is the best. He's playing behind a running back in Dalvin Cook, who has been known to be injury prone. The guy last season played more games than his first 2 seasons in the NFL combined. So Dalvin Cook is clearly an injury problem for the team. And right now, as I'm recording this video, he's holding out. So does he decide to hold out the whole offseason and then go into the season and pull a Melvin Gordon and miss a couple of games? Does he decide to pull Le'Veon Bell and miss the whole season? But you are going to need that State Farm insurance in Alexander Mattison to make sure that everything is okay. Whether Dalvin Cook starts the beginning of the year or not, there's a high chance that the guy is going to end up getting hurt. So I really advise drafting Alexander Mattison, even if Dalvin Cook does not decide to hold out in 2020. The second guy on the list here is Latavius Murray, running back of the New Orleans Saints, FFPC ADP 117.39, 6'2", 223 pounds, 4.43 40-yard dash, very fast, 93rd percentile, running back 96th percentile, speed score, 74th percentile, burst score, 76th percentile, agility score, and a 67th percentile bench press. Latavius Murray obviously used to be the starting running back of both the Oakland Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. Then he loses his starting job, obviously, once he comes to New Orleans, because it's pretty hard to pass up Alvin Kamara. Now, he finished as running back number 28 last year, riding the bench behind Alvin Kamara in 16 games, 9.8 PPR points per game, 37th at running back, 146 carries, 30th at running back, 637 rushing yards, 39.8 per game, 29th at running back, 43 targets, 2.7 per game, 30th at running back, 34 receptions, 2.1 per game, 31st at running back, 235 receiving yards, 14.7 per game, 35th at running back, red zone touches were 29, 25th at running back, and his total touchdowns were 6th, 26th at running back. Now, these numbers are extremely inflated by the games he played when Alvin Kamara ended up going down. So if Alvin Kamara was to get hurt, Latavius Murray is a legitimate option to throw into your lineup that will be not just some running back 2 or a flex option. Latavius Murray goes from riding your pine to being a fucking RB1 in your lineup. In the 2 games that Alvin Kamara was out, he averaged 30.85 half PPR points and 34.35 PPR points. He got 110.5 yards averaged in those 2 games. He was scoring a zillion touchdowns, 0.5 receiving touchdowns per game, and 1.5 rushing touchdowns per game. This guy was a target hog, 9 targets per game, 43 receiving yards per game, and 7 receptions. You add that all up, and this guy could be the best running back in fantasy football for the weeks Alvin Kamara is out. So don't overthink it. If you have Alvin Kamara, draft Latavius Murray. If you don't have him, in the 10th, 11th round, snag Latavius Murray, let him ride the pine all year long, and once Alvin Kamara goes down, the Alvin Kamara owner is going to come crying to you, and you're going to say, fuck you, because I got the RB1, and you throw him right in your lineup, and he helps you win a couple of weeks if Alvin Kamara was to go down. The next guy up to bat is Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, right now, his FFPC ADP is 124. Tony Pollard is 6 foot tall, 210 pounds, fourth round pick out of Memphis a couple of years ago. 4.52 40-yard dash, 72nd in the NFL, 67th percentile speed score, 57th percentile burst score, 53rd percentile agility score, and a 5th percentile bench press. Now, Tony Pollard was amazing when he was playing. While his season finish wasn't the hottest at running back number 53 in 2019, playing in 14 games, it was very hot when he was given the opportunity. And I know for a fact, if Ezekiel Elliott was to go down, Tony Pollard, just like with Latavius Murray and Alexander Mattison, Latavius Murray obviously would probably be the best, but Tony Pollard could easily be a top 12 running back for those weeks while Zeke is down and out for the count. 86 carries total for the season, 6.1 per game, 48th in the NFL, 455 rushing yards, 43rd in the NFL, 20 targets, 60th, 15 receptions, 54th, 107 receiving yards, 60th, red zone touches, 5, 83rd in the NFL, and total touchdowns were 3, 50th at running back. But if you look at it, Tony Pollard was a super duper efficient runner. He was an even more efficient running back than Alexander Mattison. 4.9 true yards per carry. He had a 5.3 yard per carry. 4th at running back. He finished top 10 in all of these stats. 5.6 yards per touch, 8th at running back, 5.8% breakaway run rate, 9th at running back. This guy is a machine once he gets the ball into his hands. Behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. There's a reason why so many people like Ezekiel Elliott. It's because that Cowboys line is always super safe. It's not a turnstile like some of these other offensive lines that you see where 2 seconds in, everyone's on the ground, and the running back is getting butt-fucked in the backfield, and the quarterback is on the ground sucking on his thumb. That's just what's going to happen. But it's not what happens in Dallas. They had Jerry's World, and Jerry Jones loves to get that nice O-line for Tony Pollard to run behind. So I think if Zeke was to go down, this offense is going to keep on churning, and they are going to play great, and Tony Pollard is going to play great in 2020, if that was to happen. Next running back here is sad boy Zack Moss of the Buffalo Bills, FFPC ADP 117, which I think will be on the rise. 5'9", 223 pounds. Guy's an absolute fucking unit. 4.65 40-yard dash, 31st percentile. The guy ended up getting hurt. That's why I said he ran that slow of a 40. I think he's probably faster than that. 46th percentile speed score and a 42nd percentile bench press. Now, Zack Moss is a rookie coming into the NFL, and I actually think if something was to happen to Devin Singletary, this guy is a straight-up monster. And if Devin Singletary was to stay healthy, I think Zack Moss has the most value. So out of all of these guys, if their starting running back doesn't go down, I believe Zack Moss actually has the most value on his team. He has the most standalone value even with the other running back on the team. In 2019 at Utah, he played 13 games, 235 carries, 1,416 rushing yards, 6 yards per carry, 28 receptions on 29 targets. He's got those glue hands, 388 receiving yards, 17 total touchdowns, and a 9% target share in that Utah offense. So why do I think that Zack Moss has so much standalone value? It's because of the splits last season. Frank Gore, 381 snaps, played on 35.9% of the snaps, and Devin Singletary played on 540 of the snaps, 49.5% of the snaps. So right now where they are in their career, Frank Gore is on the way out. The guy's unlimited though. He is a permanent life. This guy will be in the NFL. I'll probably die, and Frank Gore will still be in the NFL. That's just how long the guy is going to play. He is immortal. But Zack Moss is obviously better than Frank Gore is at this current rate, and I think we see Zack Moss and Devin Singletary see a 55% split in Devin Singletary's favor and a 45% split for Zack Moss. I think this offense is going to be humming. The only worry is, though, is close to the red zone, where if Zack Moss isn't the one vulturing the touchdown, Josh Allen will, because that guy just inevitably scores 5 to 7 touchdowns every single year. He just does. The guy's a beast. He's super tall. He he just reaches over and hops on into the end zone. But I do think Zack Moss will be very productive this year with or without Devin Singletary getting hurt. So I actually think he has the most standalone value. But obviously, if someone was to go down, guys like Tony Pollard, a guy like Alexander Mattison, Latavius Murray could easily be a top 12 guy, where I think Zack Moss may still be an RB2 even in that situation. And the final guy of the video, the final handcuff. If you guys enjoyed the video thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Arizona Cardinals running back Chase Edmonds, FFPC ADP in 2020, 138.71, 5'9", 205 pounds, a 4.55 40-yard dash, 63rd running back, 46th percentile speed score, 50th percentile burst score, 97th percentile agility score, and a 42nd percentile bench press. Chase Edmonds finished as the 56th best running back in fantasy football in 2019, playing in 10 games, 8.3 PPR points per game, 48th at running back, 60 carries, 6 per game, 61st at running back, 303 rushing yards, 30.3 per game, 53rd at running back, 21 targets, 57th at running back, 12 receptions, 65th at running back, 105 receiving yards, 61st at running back, 11 red zone touches, 60th at running back, and 5 total red zone touches, 34th at running back. So those stats obviously don't scream out, hey, draft Chase Edmonds, but none of these guys' stats have really screamed out, hey, draft me. It's all about the opportunity for these guys. I really believe that Chase Edmonds is going to be the back behind Mr. Kenyon Drake. So once David Johnson got hurt and wasn't playing too well, Chase Edmonds stepped into the role. 17.6 points, 14 points, 35 points. And then after that, they decided to bring in Kenyon Drake, and they fucked the shit out of Chase Edmonds' value. He went straight into the dirt, 6 feet under, and boom, he was dead because Kenyon Drake was there. So if Kenyon Drake was to go down, Chase Edmonds is, to me, the easy backup, the easy handcuff for Kenyon Drake. I think that this system is built so that they're going to pass the ball a lot, but that makes the defenses scared. So when they hand the ball off, it's just wide open, and they can run straight through the middle and gush the defense down like some Nickelodeon slime when you win the Kids' Choice Awards. Now, there is talk from some people in the fantasy industry talking about how Chase Edmonds could pass up Kenyon Drake. I don't really believe in that at all. I think Kenyon Drake is a step above a guy like Chase Edmonds, but don't be surprised when if Kenyon Drake was to go down, that Chase Edmonds has an absolute feast like his name was Ezekiel Elliott. And before I end the video, there's actually one more running back that I want to just note, because people are going to say, oh, Nick, why didn't you talk about Kareem Hunt? Kareem Hunt is a handcuff, a quote-unquote handcuff. I think you are fooling yourself if you are calling Kareem Hunt a handcuff. The guy's not a fucking handcuff. He's going to be touching the ball way more than any of these guys, besides maybe Zack Moss, but he's technically a handcuff because he's the second running back on the team. But if Nick Chubb was to go down, he'll be amazing. If Nick Chubb plays, he's going to be amazing, so I won't really consider him to be a handcuff. I consider Zack Moss to be a handcuff because he's obviously more unknown considering he's a rookie, whereas we've seen Kareem Hunt for the first 2 years of his NFL career absolutely tear it up. Then obviously he did what he did, and then he had to have an 8-game suspension, then joined the Browns. But in this run-heavy Browns system, I really think Kareem Hunt will have a great season, but I don't just consider him a handcuff, but I figured I'd note it since there are going to be people calling me a dumbass for not obviously having him as a handcuffs. Thank you guys all for watching. I love each and every single one of you motherfuckers later. Let me know down below actually if you guys think Kareem Hunt is a handcuff. Let me know your guys' favorite handcuff down below. I love you all. Please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Make sure to click on any of the videos that is on your screen right now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with yet another banger of a video. Good boy.